Welcome, Moon and Star. Dagotho welcomes you to this place where destiny is made. How's it going? As you can hear, Mooplogwix, the little old orc lady, is just walking through the Sadanine countryside back to the starting town of Sadanine. It's me, Editor Dan here. This is more post-commentary because this is the last episode where the audio was all messed up. So while I'll mix in a little bit of that messed up audio, it's mostly going to be me telling you what's going on. You'll remember in last episode, we got halfway to Balmorra, where we want to go and maybe do some questing for the temple. We got halfway there when we met a horny lady, and we helped her meet a sexy elf. And as a reward, she's like, "Oh, you should go be friends with my friend, Bernard Early. He lives in Tel Brenora." And I'm like, Tel Brenora? I want to know how to get to Tel Brenora or meet your friend. Who wouldn't? So the only way I know how to get to places is to talk to the barkeeper in Sadanine's pub, whose name is Alone. And as a part-time ranger, I guess it's like her job to tell everyone how to get to places. So I'm right now backtracking back to the pub, and we're gonna find out if Alone can tell me how to get to Tel Brenora. Let's see.
You choose to share the
Okay, she doesn't know where Tel Brenora is. I'm gonna go see if I can get there on the Siltstrider.
Greetings. How do you do? May we talk?
Yeah, so we are gonna head to the Siltstrider Rider instead and try there. As I'm walking to the Siltstrider Rider, I stumble through a pool of water and my athletics skill increases. And if you ever wanted to know what the athletics skill increase sounds like in the land of bad audio, here it is. Yeah, alright, so then we get to the Siltstrider. Huh. No, you can't get there on the Siltstrider either. You cannot take a Siltstrider to Tel Brenora. So this whole endeavor was a complete waste of time. Backtracked for no reason, and now Mooplogwix has got to backtrack back to where she was, halfway to Balmorra, and she gesticulates wildly with rage, but is resolute in her ambitions. She will not be disheartened. She thinks to herself, maybe from Balmorra I can catch a boat or something to meet this exciting Bernard Early guy in Tel Brenora. So let's see how we go. On the way to Balmorra, Mooplogwix looks up at the sky, and it's really beautiful. Yeah, it's really nice. Alright, off we go. Later down the path, I enter into the ravine mentioned in the directions, and Mooplogwix encounters a slug. Oh, slug. Got it. Nothing else interesting happens on the walk to Balmorra, except I think I see some marshmallow and I run off the path to go pick it, only to find that it's a plant that looks just like marshmallow, which is called chokeweed or something. And I'm like, oh, chokeweed. I thought this was marshmallow. I think that's really funny. That's a marshmallow. Oh, yuck, chokeweed. But I use it to make a potion of restore fatigue anyway. Yep. Got one. And then we get to Balmorra, and right as we arrive at the city gates, guess what it does, listeners? Guess what happens? It starts to rain. And now, you and I, Moon and Star, we both love rain ambience. No one doesn't love rain ambience. But, alright, well, let me just play you a little bit of the bad audio track, and let's see if we can hear what Dan was saying in the past, shall we? So if I'm suddenly okay, here's yeah. So, just looking at the video footage, I can tell that I'm just walking through town looking for a boat on the river that might take me to Tel Brenora, but I don't end up finding one. And then I just sit by the banks and I explain the geography of the city. It's like two banks, a city that's split in half by a river, and there's like one side of the city and there's another side of the city. And then I just walk straight through to the opposite end of the city that I entered at, and I see something like a domed building up on a hill outside the city itself. And I have this memory from my childhood playthroughs of this game that this is the temple. And so I gleefully stride up the slope, and I read a sign saying that this is the Dunmare Temple, and I'm like, Dunmare Temple? I wonder if they'll let me join, even though I'm an orc. And then I step through the doors. Well, why does the door say Balmora Temple and the sign says Dunmare Temple? Is it like... Okay, there's like bunk beds over here. Someone in a robe. How's it going? It's cool. It looks like you're part of a community. A community.
Shopping for enchantments.
I'm not really shopping for enchantments.
Alright, so that loud guy who just shouted at me, his name's Ilan Favren, and he's an enchanter. And I look at his enchantments, and yeah, they're cool. He puts like healing magic on armor. That's his whole shtick. And then I start looking through his dialogue to try and figure out like, are you gonna? Can you tell me about the temple maybe? And nah, he doesn't really. He doesn't want to. So I keep on wandering around. I find like a pit of ashes and bones, like we find in crypts. I find a guy who is the alchemist. His name is Dralval Randrarano, and he's got a real cool room. I love his room. I wish I had one like this. There's lots of really cool rooms in this temple. Yeah, his room has it's got like a little ramp up to a mezzanine level, and his bed is in like a cool little bed nook. And there's a special nook in the nook where there's a chest set in like a gap in the wall. It's just a real cool room. I like it a lot. Screens, sacks, candles, rugs. It's amazing. And he's got this this journeyman's mortar and pestle worth 400 drakes, and I've only got 200 drakes. And I buy some wick wheat, and I think to myself, I'd love that. I'd love that mortar and pestle. But that'll just have to wait till some other time. So I keep on wandering around the temple, hoping to find like the top of the temple, the big potato in the temple. And then I go over this way. I'm going to an upstairs area now. Oh, here's the top of the dome. Are you the head of the temple? Feldralo Sadri?
Welcome, my child. Do you seek to join the temple?
I do.
You have a promising look. Perhaps we could use you. Do you wish to join, or shall you hear our doctrine first?
Yeah, let me hear the doctrine.
Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests, and bring luster to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters, in thought or in deed, as we are all of one body. If you somehow fail to uphold these ideals, you may speak with a master or the patriarch to be cleansed of your wrongdoings. Do you still want to join?
Yes, I am worthy.
You are now a layman of the temple. Welcome, Sister Mooplogwix. I am one of several masters that you can go to get your duties, and if you perform well, advancement in the temple is not out of the question.
Tell me about duties.
Before I give you any other duties, you should prove your faith by making the pilgrimages of the 7 Graces.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I've heard about the 7 Graces, but tell me a little bit more about them.
Take this book, The Pilgrim's Path.
Nice. I stole from that man for no reason.
It describes where the pilgrimage sites are. After you have completed these pilgrimages, speak with me again. I should warn you that while most of these are easy, the pilgrimages of Ghostgate and the Ruddy Man are more difficult. You may wish to do those last.
Pilgrim's Path has been added. And with that, we're officially pilgrims, listeners, on a pilgrimage. I decide that it would be a little bit too much to make this whole episode about visiting all 7 sites of grace, but I'm going to make this episode about starting the pilgrimage. So that's what this episode has turned into. The quest is the beginning of the pilgrimage. I look around the rest of this big domed room, and I find a little church library, and I look through all the books. There's just a whole bunch of religious texts, which Oh, my phone's ringing. Oh, hang on, listeners. Alright, I'm back. Not to worry. Yeah, there's like looking at the books, blah, 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 blah. I find there's 2 books which are from a series called like the 37 Lessons of Vivek, or something like that, or the 32 Sermons of Vivek. Both of the ones that I read are worth $200, and they both up my skills. One of them ups like unarmed, one of them ups something else. Like it's not big important skills, but it's cool. And there's like 30-something of them. And I think to myself, well, wouldn't it be cool to like, you know, if I can, start collecting the whole series? I could go back to Saint Denis and put them up on my bookshelf in my little house I own. That'd be fun. Yeah, so I decide to just quickly before I go out to the closest pilgrimage site, which is the Fields of Camus. I didn't mention this last episode, but when I stole the copy of the Pilgrim's Path, my map was updated with 2 of the locations of the pilgrimages. Maybe 3. I couldn't see them. I could only see Fields of Camus and Ghostgate pop up, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, sure. And the reason is most of the sites are actually in Vivek City, so we'll be spending a little bit of time in Vivek City later on in the series. Get hyped for Ziggurat Town, for Pyramid Land. Pyramid City. But for now, I'm just going to go to the closest one, I reckon. And before I leave, I figure I'll check out the basement. And I'm just walking through the temple. And I'm so excited about being a pilgrim. I do something which I'm really grateful for. Editor Dan is really grateful for. I decide to make a little editing joke where I turn the music off. So I go into the options and I disable the music so that I can put in this drone metal track I quite like called Pilgrimage by So instead of music, we now get to listen to Om's Pilgrimage. And it means that the audio becomes sort of listenable to in the quiet environment of this temple, because there's no wind and rain. The only loud noises are footsteps and people screaming at me. But you can deal with that. You just get used to it. So let's just Editor Dan can take a little break from editing for a bit.
There we go.
You can just see what happened in real time.
There's the downstairs area. Okay. Yep. Just a big bunch of pits of ash down here. Loads of them. And some people. Lantheo Halalu. Oh, I've heard of your last name. I'm Lathino Halalu. Welcome to Balmora. You sell spells? Mysticism. You're a mystic. Restoration. Mysticism, restoration. Vigor, cure common disease. Intervention. Almsevi intervention. Okay. Oh, you sell books! Look at all these books. You sell paper. I'm gonna sell one of my copies of the Pilgrim's Path. I don't know which one is stolen. I tell you what, let's sell both copies and then buy her copy of the Pilgrim's Path. So I'm selling them for $24. I can buy them for 25. Oh! And the total transaction will be $0 or 0 drakes. So I'm giving her 2 copies, buying 1 copy, and that's a great deal for me, because it just means I've gotten rid of my stolen copy. You offer spell making, but I'm not interested right now, thanks. There's someone else down here. Are you an alteration person? Yeah, you might be. Mysticism, restoration. I guess everyone in the temple is... They're not going to be... Oh, Mark. Mark and Recall would be worth learning. 177 gold. So that's a spell. That's a mysticism spell. I would be really bad at casting it, but it would be worth trying anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna buy Mark, because Mark and Recall work like I could cast Mark here, go somewhere else, then cast Recall, and I would go to where I cast Mark. So even if so can you... And you could sell me Recall if I had $175. Do you buy potions? You've got $300. Yeah. Let me just stop here, quickly mix a bunch of potions, see if I can make enough money to buy Recall. Then we could have Mark and Recall, even though our mysticism is not that good. Okay, I made a couple of potions. Mostly what I had was ingredients for health potions. But let's see if I've got some other potions here. Yeah, I don't need 40. Rain magic I don't need. Restore personality I don't need. Restore I don't need. Restore fatigue, that's good. I'll keep that. Restore health, restore health, restore health, restore health. Okay, I can sell all this for 146 bucks. Okay. That should get me enough to buy Recall. Done. Okay. Amazing. Okay, cool. Great. Now I have Mark and Recall. I'm not good at using it, but I have it. It could come in handy. I don't have any magic to cast it right now. But oh well. Okay. Let's head to the fields of Camus for our first pilgrimage.
The freshest ingredients.
Well, so I hope you enjoyed those 3 or 4 minutes of real-time, listeners, because as we step out into the rain again, we're back into post-commentary land, because my audio during the rain is just completely irretrievable. It's very difficult to make out what I'm saying, even for me, and I said it. But so yeah, we start heading. We backtrack, like using the same path that we used to get here. You know, we walk through Balmorra and then through a little bit of the countryside called West Gash. And on the road, I start to do some stupid thinking, which I thought was really smart. I start to think that actually I shouldn't be playing without the game audio, because it'll mess things up for me in editing later on. And like looking back, I'm like, you idiot! What are you talking about? I guess it made sense in the moment, but yeah, sure enough, I stop along the path in West Gash. I fade. I tell editor Dan to fade down Om's pilgrimage, and we didn't even get to the metal bit. So all of you, I heard you fucking metal heads looking for some beats.
Metal heads looking for some beats.
Yeah, you're like, this isn't metal, Dan. This is just some guy going, ah. Yeah, we didn't get to the metal bit. There's not even that. Anyway, but the point is, I fade it down. I fade the game audio back up. And then we just keep on going. We approach the Ashen Ravine, the volcanic sort of canyon, which runs like from the center of the island of Morrowind down south to the coast and to Saint-Denis. We entered this canyon and fought a slug on the way up to Balmorra, and now on the way back down to the branching path to Fields of Camus, we enter the canyon again, and I see a signpost, and it's like, this way to Balmorra, that way back to Saint-Denis, and then one little arrow is pointing back up the ravine, up the canyon, saying, this way to Ghostgate. And I pull out my map and I have a little look, and I'm like, you know, why is it a good idea to do this last? Pilgrimages aren't going to make me better at fighting. At the end of the pilgrimage quests, I'm not going to be stronger and tougher. I'm going to be as strong as I am now. I might as well, if it's convenient for me, I'm going to go up to Ghostgate, and this can be the Ghostgate episode. So, like, screw the Fields of Camus. I'm on my way to Ghostgate. And then off we go to Ghostgate, listeners. Alright, so now we're traveling north up the ravine, and I like see a cool old Dwemer bridge. I go under the Dwemer bridge, and then I fight a cliff racer, and then I fight a slug, and then I see some ugly Dwemer ruins with like strange, you know, St. Petersburg Cathedral onion domes, but they're all weird and metal and dwarven, and I totally bypass it because I'm afraid of combat at the moment. And then I get accosted by a Nyx Hound, but I defeat her, and then I fight a Cliff Racer, and then I fight another Cliff Racer, and by this point, I'm pretty badly beaten up, so I think I'll better drink one of my many valuable health potions that I've made, and I make the shocking discovery that the health potions that I make with my apprentices Mortar and Pestle, they can recover 1 hit point per second for 4 seconds. That's the health potions that I've been making. So, 4 hit points over 4 seconds, totaling 4 hit points. They're trash, they're garbage, and I'm like, I suck. But then I go on, and I fight another Cliff Racer, and then I fight a rat, and then I level up.
My spear skill increased, and I should rest and meditate on what I've learnt. Can I? Oh, I can rest until healed. I could level up. Listeners, it's our first level up. Let me do that. Rest until healed, and I've ascended to level 2. Cool. I realised that all my life I've been coasting along as if I were in a dream, and suddenly, facing the trials of the last few days, I've come alive. I could up my agility by 2. I could up my endurance by 3 and my speed by 3, or my strength by 2 and my intelligence by 2. That's because I've been using skills governed by these attributes. I haven't used any skills governed by willpower or personality, I think. My endurance is really high. My speed's really low. Give me more speed. I also want, let's see, agility, which will increase my ability to hit enemies, and strength, or do I want intelligence? Yeah, I think agility, strength, and speed. Let's be basic. There we go.
And then I fight a Cliff Racer, and then I fight another Cliff Racer, and then I fight a rat. And then from out of nowhere, a rat comes out, and it even swears at me.
What the hell? What the fuck? What is happening? Oh, another...
And it takes me by surprise, but then I fight it and I get it. And then I see a little bug called a Scrib, I don't fight it. But then I do fight a Nyx Hound, and then I get to Ghost Gate. And just outside of the Ghost Gate, there's like a sort of, big Dunmare temple-looking entrance gate to in this big... It's like a big magic fence is what it's like. Big magic blue energy fence, and there's a sort of a temple lodged in the middle with like a gate sort of thing in the middle of it. It was the Ghost Gate's where I'm going. But there's people... They're just like milling around in a campsite. I go up to talk to them, and this guy's got a remarkable name.
Zealot Astradashi.
This is Ghost Gate, Mooplogwix, and my name is Zealot Astradashi.
But Zealot Astradashi doesn't have anything interesting to say. He's just like, oh, you don't hear much around here. We're like really isolated. He's a scout, but he doesn't know any exciting things like how to get to Telbranora or anything. But Zealot Astradashi has a good friend named Tunapi Shamrabosa. And Tunapi Shamrabosa has some interesting things to say about the Ghost Fence when I ask.
Tell me about Ghost Fence.
The Ghost Fence is a magic wall around Red Mountain. The settled people created this barrier to keep the devil Dagoth and his beasts and servants trapped in Red Mountain.
Tell me about Dagoth.
Dagoth is the devil and the enemy. Dagoth and his beasts and servants are the source of many evils that beset the Dunmare and Morrowind. Dagoth dwells in fiery caverns beneath Red Mountain, served by his kin called ash vampires, and by legions of deformed monsters.
Tell me about the Dunmare.
We are the Dunmare, the dark-skinned, red-eyed elven people who followed the Prophet Veloth out of the southwest, generation upon generation ago, settling here in Morrowind. We are the true Dunmare. We have remained true to the sacred rites and customs of our forefathers. The House people, also called the Settled people, called Dark Elves by the Outlanders, are also of the ancient lineage of the Prophet Veloth.
Okay, thanks. Great.
Quickly, Outlander, I haven't much time.
Alright. Okay, nice treasure chest. Oh, it's trapped? You've got a trapped treasure chest here? Not locked, just trapped? Cool. Great. Have fun with that. I'm gonna go make pilgrimage to this pillar. This Triller tribe.
the ghost fence? Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so we fiddle with a button. Do we? Let's hang on, I've got to watch the footage again. Oh, damn. Yeah, so I fiddle with a button that opens the gate, but then I'm like, wait, but where's the shrine though? Is it in this? And I go up, and sure enough, this is like this weird gate. In the middle it's a gate, and on the left and right there are like two buildings joined together beneath the gate on a basement level, and this is like a chapter house of the temple. I go in there and I'm like, is the shrine here or is it through the gate? Where's the shrine? So I do what any good little pilgrim should do, pull out their book and read about the pilgrim's path. So has me reading the book.
Puzzle Canal, the Shrine of Courtesy. The Palace, the Shrine of Generosity. Cold Cave, the Shrine of Valor. The Ghost Fence, the Shrine of Pride. The Ghost Fence is a lasting symbol of the indomitable will and power of Almsivi, and a monument to Dunmer pride in overcoming its enemies. The Shrine of Pride is found within the Ghost Fence, just northeast of the Ghost Gate itself. So within the Ghost Fence, just northeast of the Ghost Gate itself. The safest route to Ghost Gate is along the Foida Mamia, a volcanic ravine running from the top of Red Mountain southwest to its end just below Balmora. So I followed that. That's cool. An old Dwemer bridge crosses the Foida near Fort Moonmoth. Yep, I saw that. A pilgrim may follow the Foida Mamia all the way to Ghost Gate. Any journey inside the Ghost Fence is dangerous, but even the most timid pilgrim should be safe, so long as he does not stray too far from the Ghost Gate and flees from any minions of Dagoth. When you address the shrine, it's customary to leave a soul gem in remembrance of our ancestors who are bound to the tribunal service. I happen to have one petty soul gem, value $10, weight 0.2.
Yes,
so that's
Southland.
lucky. Could I have bought one from you? Maybe I want a better one. No, you only sell potions. Okay, so it looks like I've got a... This is cool that this little temple building is here. Yeah, a layman of the temple. Yeah, this is like a little branch of the temple that I'm exploring now. It's cool that it's here. You sell more potions. But what I need to do is go through the Ghost Gate and walk a little bit past the Ghost Fence.
Alright, so I go to make my way out of the temple, and on the way I quickly talk to someone about buying another spell, this time in the Alteration School, which is my main one, you know. I get Rally Other, or Rally Creature, or yeah, I think it's Rally Other, or something like that. I don't really know what it does, I still don't really know what it does. But it was cheap, so I get it. And then I get out of the temple and I go through the Ghost Gate, and then I'm in like scary red windy zone, and then I fight a blighted rat, and then I fight a cliff racer, and then I fight another cliff racer, and then just off the path up a hill I see a triolith, and I donate a $10 soul gem to it, and it gives me a blessing, which is like shield, 25 points of shield, and that's going to last for half a day, and that's pretty good. And also this touching message is displayed when I get my blessing.
The grace of pride. Thank you for your pride, Lord Vivek. I shall not doubt myself or my God, or my gods, and shall insist upon them and my ancient rights. There we go! I made the pilgrimage to Ghost Gate and read the grace of pride.
And so with that quest accomplished, it's time to end the episode, listeners. Tune in next time when the acceptable audio returns, and I don't have to do so much work editing the episodes. For those of you who have enjoyed this post-commentary, too bad. Back to normal next episode. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.